Nobody saying that he come bothering them about this, doing a whole lot of things. If they did, well, they never said nothing to me about it.
By the time Jimmy had started kindergarten, the Hendrixes had moved into the Rainier Vista housing project, and things were beginning to look up. Always a quiet, sensitive youngster, he now became painfully shy and withdrawn, to the point of developing a devastating stutter. As a young child, he picked up the spoons from his father, and by the age of 8 had become obsessed with strumming on the household broom, pretending to stroke chords on it while singing Elvis Presley songs like Heartbreak Hotel and Love Me Tender. Just as Jimmy was beginning to express himself, he suffered yet another blow. This one would haunt him the rest of his life. His mother, Lucille, newly married to a longshoreman in December of 1957, had been in and out of hospital suffering from cirrhosis of the liver. Jimmy often snuck off to see her, proudly showing her artwork he'd done in school. Early in 1958, Lucille was once again back in the hospital, seriously ill. This time, Jimmy's Aunt Pat, Al's sister down from Vancouver, took her nephew to see his mother. Jimmy was very quiet and simply stared. It was the last time that he would ever see his mother. Jimmy would often tag along with his father to all-night card games with the boys. As luck would have it, one of Al's poker-playing cronies had an acoustic guitar, which became Jimmy's obsession. He'd sneak the guitar out onto the porch, lost in another world, until it was time to go home. Young Jimmy was listening to every blues record he could lay his hands on: Howlin' Wolf, B.B. King, and the legendary Robert Johnson. Slowly, painstakingly, he would pick away at the guitar, trying to imitate the sounds he heard.
He offered to sell to Jimmy for $5, something like that. Jimmy, he wanted to try it out, so I did okay. So I went and bought that for him. And after he started learning a few things on that and got pretty good on that, well, then I got him the electric guitar. But I was just thankful that he was doing something. I mean, to stay out of trouble off the streets. And that was one thing. And I said, well, he got an interest in this music. I said, that's great. But at the time when I bought his first guitar, I went and bought the C melody sax. I happened to see it sitting there. And neither one of us knew, well, Jimmy, he probably knew more about the guitar than I know about the sax. I just knew the scale. And in this hotel where we were living at, well, we just sit up there and he'd be plunking away and I'd be blowing on the sax there trying to pick out notes of our own. Oh, he used to practice every day. When he'd come home from school, the first thing he'd do, he'd pick up the guitar. I'd come in from work and he'd be playing B.B. King and them guys. And he'd be playing along with them or getting ideas from it or such and such. But he'd be practicing all the time. Well, he had a nickname. The aunt gave him when he was small. It was Buster, and that stuck with him for a long time. I got home from work and they was having a little nip, and of course Jimmy wasn't drinking; he was too young. But he told me, he said that someday you're going to take it easy, you're going to be famous and all that. So I told him, I'll hurry up. I said, oh, Dad's getting tired of work. And brother and I, we just laughed. All three of us laughed about it.
Jimmy joined his first group in 1959, the Rocking Kings, formed by high school friend Fred Rollins, where Hendrix played bass on a 6-string guitar. The group's first gig was in Kent, just outside of Seattle, at the National Guard Armory. We earned 35 cents apiece, Hendrix recalled. Unfortunately, his prowess on the guitar did not match his accomplishments in the classroom. Apart from sports and his art classes, Jimmy was a poor, disinterested student at Garfield High. Frequent absenteeism and an all-consuming interest in music finally led to Jimmy's dropping out of Garfield in October of his senior year. Life in the real world, Jimmy quickly discovered, was not the stuff of his high-flown fantasies. Jimmy tried to get a job as a bag boy at a local grocery store, among other jobs, but according to Al, that was before the civil rights thing and it was hard for blacks to get into certain positions. Because I didn't have a cent in my pocket, recalls Hendrix, I walked into the first recruiting office I saw.